A lot of MVP implications on the line here, ladies and gentlemen. And if you're going to sit here, if you came on here to think that I'm conceding Drake May as the MVP because Matthew Stafford played one bad football game, maybe two bad football games all year, you're absolutely out of your mind. He has more touchdowns, more passing yards against top 10 defenses in the best conference in football. He doesn't roll out here every week and play the Mickey Mouse Jets, Titans, Browns, Saints without Tyler Shuck, Giants. He's out here playing in the hardest division in football on a first place schedule. Oh, but he's throwing a Puka Nacua and Devontae Adams. That guy played the 12-win Jaguars, who are a top 10 defense, without Puka Nacua and threw for 5 touchdowns. So I don't know what more you need to see from Matthew Stafford. One game doesn't define a full MVP campaign. And you look at the Jets team that Drake May just carved up for 5 touchdowns. The starting corners were Quantez Stiggers and Brandon Stevens. Will McDonald, IR. Sauce Gardner traded. Quinnen Williams traded. Tony Adams, starting safety, on IR. Andre Cisco, starting safety, on IR. Jarvis Brownlee, starting nickelback, on IR. That Jets defense was garbage. The guy that leads the team in sacks, gone. The starting nickel, the 2 starting safeties, gone. Starting corner, A.Z. Thomas, hurt, IR. Like the Jets it was the most obvious tank in the world. And we're going to put Drake May over Matthew Stafford because he threw a bunch of touchdowns against the worst team in the NFL's practice squad defense? That's ridiculous because Matthew Stafford played one bad game in Week 17. That's all. Like it'd be malpractice for all of these people that vote on the MVP award to just discredit Matthew Stafford's entire campaign, where he's thrown 41 touchdowns because he had a bad game in Week 17. But again, these are the same MVP voters that voted Lamar Jackson, the same MVP voters that vote on the AP All-Pro team. It's the same voters that voted Lamar Jackson as the first team All-Pro quarterback, but so they thought he was the best quarterback in the NFL, but then not the MVP of the league because they gave it to Josh Allen. So I don't know what to expect from these voters anymore. They're an absolute joke. They also gave Saquon the offensive player of the year last season, and Jamar Chase barely even got any first place votes when he was clearly the better offensive player. It's way harder to win a Triple Crown than it is to rush for 2,000 yards, especially when you're running behind the best offensive line in football. That offensive line doesn't look so good this year. Cam Jurgens stinks. Landon Dickerson's been hurt. Lane Johnson's been hurt. And Saquon's nowhere near the same player. But Jamar Chase is out here without Joe Burrow. Still has, 1,300 yards on the season, top 5 in receiving. So it easily should have been Jamar Chase for Offensive Player of the Year last year. Listen, this take gets me in trouble all the time, but I think Joe Burrow was the most valuable player of the NFL last season. Lamar Jackson got snubbed. Josh Allen, MVP. I think Joe Burrow led the NFL in touchdowns and passing yards. I don't know what games you were watching, but without Joe Burrow, that Bengals team is 0 wins, 1 win last year. Yeah, that's neither here nor there. We're being a dead horse here. But you can't just, because Drake May played one game, because Drake May threw for 5 touchdowns against, let me say this again, Quantez Stiggers and Brandon Stevens as the starting quarterbacks. Tony Adams, Andre Cisco, the starting safeties for the Jets, on IR. Jarvis Brownlee, starting nickel corner for the Jets, on IR. Will McDonald, the guy that leads the NFL or leads the New York Jets defense in sacks, on IR. Quinnen Williams, Sauce Gardner traded. What are we talking about? And Patriots are like, everybody wants to be like, oh, this is the most insufferable. Like, it's insufferable. The Patriots fans are the stupidest fan base in the history of the planet. Like, well, you can use the excuse for Drake May's great performance because it was against the Jets defense when nobody else has done that against the Jets defense. One, you're wrong. Trevor Lawrence had 6 touchdowns against this defense 3 weeks ago. Also, this isn't the same defense that Josh Allen played in week 2, that Bo Nix played in Germany. No Quinnen Williams, no Sauce Gardner. And like I said, Tony Adams, starting safety, on IR. Will McDonald, best defensive end, on IR. Andre Cisco, starting safety, on IR. Jarvis Brownlee, a starting nickel corner, on IR. A.Z. Thomas, starting corner, on IR. Quantez Stiggers and Brandon Stevens. This Drake May performance against the Jets was against the worst team in the NFL's practice squad. And the Patriots fans are like, well, nobody else has ever done this against the Jets defense this year. Trevor Lawrence had 6 touchdowns against this defense 3 weeks ago. What are we talking about? How stupid can you be to not understand that this performance by Drake May moves the needle not even a little bit? And nobody even watched this game, because if you watch this game, you just see wide open receivers all day long on one of the against one of the worst secondaries in the NFL. Drake May was there. He did nothing. He did nothing. He completed 90% of his passes because 100% of his receivers were 100% open all the time, because the Jets defense is already garbage, and it was their practice squad defense that was in there. So I like this Drake May 5 touchdown 90% completion percentage performance is getting blown so out of proportion. It was the worst team in the NFL's practice squad secondary. What are we talking? Watch the game. Everybody was wide open. Drake May didn't do shit. He didn't. I guess he was accurate. Yeah, he was accurate to guys that had 10 yards of separation. What are we talking about here? And Matthew Stafford plays one bad game on week 17 on Monday Night Football, and Drake May, all the box score, because nobody watched that Jets Patriots game. Let's be honest, man. So everybody that just sees the Drake May 90% completion percentage, 5 touches, is gonna think, oh, he must have went off. Bro, I said it a million times. I say it's the Jets practice squad defense. Not even their starters who suck. It's their practice squad. So it's the players that aren't even good enough to play on the worst defense in the NFL. It's those guys. And we'll get into this Jets defense in a little bit too, because they are included in their Hot Take Tuesday segment. Matthew Stafford, though, not good, obviously. The end of this game was just incredible, though. Tutu Atwell, obvious, blatant pass interference. Matthew Stafford dropping an absolute dot. Puka Nacua almost made literally the greatest catch of all time. If he one-handed that, secured possession on the sideline, and got 2 feet in, I think that would have been better, maybe better than the Odell catch. Talking circumstance and level of difficulty, that might be just as hard, because he had to come back, dive for the ball, secure it with one hand, and get 2 feet in bounds. That would have been ridiculous and would have debatably been better than the Odell Beckham Jr. catch, but obviously it wasn't complete, so it doesn't matter. The Stafford interception on 4th down to Xavier Watts was bad. He leads the NFL in pick sixes, in career pick sixes, tied with Brett Favre. Not ideal. Kirk Cousins was all right. Bijan Robinson's the best running back in football. It's him or Jahmyr Gibbs, but I have to go with him because of the recency bias, I guess, because Jahmyr Gibbs has kind of been shut down over the past few weeks. And also, I didn't say this on the preview episode. You guys got to remind me, man. Don't bet on Jahmyr Gibbs against the Vikings, because I did it twice this year. Both times I got fucked. And the Vikings just have that dude's number for whatever reason. I don't know who the fuck's the best team in the NFL. I've been saying the Rams for the last 5 weeks. The Rams are going to finish 3rd in their division. So I don't know I don't know who's the best team in the NFL. I genuinely have no idea. This thing is wide open. And if anybody's going to tell you that they have a clue, they're fucking lying. They are lying. Nobody has any clue about anything going on in the NFL right now. And I'm the only one. I'm the only one in the NFL media that's going to be transparent about that. I don't fucking know who to believe. I don't know who to bet on. I do not know who to bet on. I couldn't fucking tell you. I genuinely could not tell you at all, not even a little bit. And that scares me. I'm going to get vulnerable with you guys for a second here. I'm so terrified that the Patriots are the real deal. Like, beyond terrified. Beyond terrified. The more I think about it, it's like, dude, they're not the real deal. We're not even going to go there. We're not even going to entertain that. Their offensive line sucks. They haven't played a top 10 defense. They're 1-2 against teams above 500. Their offensive line sucks. They haven't played a top 10 defense. They're 1-2 against teams above 500. The Patriots are not good. It is fraudulent. It is Mickey Mouse. The Patriots are not good again. Just have to. They're not. What the fuck, bro? Woody Johnson needs to sell the team. He bought the team. He bought the team for less than $1 billion. You account for inflation, it was about $1 billion at the time you bought the team. The Jets are valued at $9 million. Why does that old fuck still own the team? Just sell, take your $7 billion return on your investment and go fuck off. Please, Woody Johnson, I'm begging you. Please. You bought the team for less than $1 billion. You sell it now, you're going to get $9 million. That's a $9 billion. That's a $7 billion return on your investment, bro. You're 90 years old. What point do you have to own this football team other than to just bring Jets fans constant fucking pain? And then you got this bullfuck Robert Kraft. Oh my fucking God, this is such bullshit, dude. Like, oh my God, it's unbelievable. I gotta, what the fuck do I do? And they're just gonna draft the quarterback this year. Guess what? He's gonna fucking suck. He's gonna fucking suck. They always suck. Sam Darnold stunk. Zach Wilson fucking sucked. He still sucks. They all suck. Aaron Rodgers sucks. Everybody sucks. Brady Cook is the worst quarterback in the NFL history. It's a fucking joke. Woody Johnson, what are we doing? You old fuck. Just sell the team, bro. Please. Please. Just one time, man. Can I just see good football one time? I was fucking 10 years old, bro. 10 years fucking old, bro. These Patriots fans do not deserve this. These Boston sports fans are the biggest scumbags on the planet fucking Earth. The last thing they deserve is an MVP 5 years after Tom Brady, bro. What the fuck is that bullshit? That is utter. I don't know, bro. I might just, I might just go back to West Virginia, work at the furniture store. Maybe the sports thing isn't for me, man. Maybe the sports thing, it just never was meant to be, bro. You know what I was doing the last fucking hour? Or not an hour, for like 30 minutes, an hour ago? For 30 minutes, an hour ago, you know what I was doing instead of like preparing for this episode, which, by the way, great college football preview, Ed. Great Hot Take Tuesday. I was just watching James Harden, Kyrie, Kevin Durant edits. That's what I was doing. I typed in Jets sad edits on TikTok. That's where we're at right now.